Welcome to Hey, it's CarlyRae's Book Club. This is Book Hour, where authors will talk their latest novels, reveal their writing process, and play some fun book games. I'm your host, Carly Rae. Today, we have New York Times bestselling author Asha Lemmie. We're going to be talking about her now New York Times bestselling book, 50 Words for Rain, finding out how she first began crafting this novel at age 16, as well as see how well she knows her character's dialogue and if she's planning on a sequel. We'll dive in right after this. Hello, Asha. Tell us where you're joining us from.
I am joining you from my mom's office in Maryland.
Now, this is the first ever show where you are being announced as a New York Times best-selling author. Your debut novel, 50 Words for Rain, is Good Morning America's 2020 book club pick for September and just became a New York Times best-selling novel. Congratulations, Asha. That is amazing. And for those watching, here is a close-up of the cover of 50 Words for Rain if you haven't seen it already. Now, Asha, tell viewers what this book is about and why it needs to be their next book read.
So this is a historical coming-of-age novel about Nori. She is the illegitimate daughter of a Japanese aristocratic woman and an African-American soldier. Her mother abandons her when she's only 8, and she is left to be raised by her maternal grandparents at their estate in Kyoto. To say that they don't like her is a massive understatement. They keep her in the attic because they don't want anyone to find out that she exists. And it's not until the arrival of her older half-brother, Akira, that Nori is given an opportunity to find a bond. However, the grandparents are very threatened by that bond, and it sets into motion a chain of events that changes all of their lives forever. I think this should be your next read because it's a very unique story. It's not the kind of thing that you see every day. And if you love an underdog, you'll love Nori. She's someone to root for.
I definitely agree. Now, you started writing this novel when you were only 16 years old. Have you been to Japan? What inspired you to really develop the storyline of 50 Words for Rain?
I have been to Japan. And a matter of fact, I grew up with 2 Japanese aunties, one from Kyoto and one from Osaka. And they helped me write this book, and they've been huge influences on me. They're far, far nicer than any of the characters in the book. Before anyone gets any ideas, they're both wonderful. But I definitely wanted to tell a story with a setting that you didn't see all the time in historical fiction. And I knew I wanted to tell a story about a young woman who blossoms in isolation and with all the odds stacked against her.
And now, are any of your characters based on your aunties?
No. They're
In your you beeped out there. Are they based on your aunties?
No, they're not. My aunties are wonderful.
In your interview with Penguin Random House, you said that the title 50 Words for Rain was inspired by a Japanese saying. Tell us, did you have to do a lot of research to write this historical novel? Were there a lot of writing breaks from when you started to when you finished 50 Words for Rain?
So as far as research, I did do a lot of research on this novel because obviously I was not alive in the 1940s unless I just have the world's best skincare routine. I was not around. So of course I had to research the time back then because I was really committed to making it as immersive as possible. I think as a fiction writer, you can take a little liberty here and there, but I didn't want to, go crazy with it. I really wanted people to get a sense of place. And then as far as taking writing breaks, yes, because I wrote the first 3 chapters at 16 and I didn't finish the novel until I was 23. And I didn't pick it up again until I was 21. And at 25, I got a book deal and here I am.
If you could pick one character that was your favorite and one that wasn't, which characters would they be?
My favorite character is Akira. because he's kind, he's smart, he's talented, and he's very loyal. He's kind of snarky sometimes, but everyone has flaws. My least favorite character would be Will. He reminds me a lot of Enamel. He's shiny on the outside, and on the inside, not a good situation.
You heard Asha talk about 50 words for Rain. We'll be right back to find out if she was always in love with writing.
Thank you for choosing Three Brothers Wineries. I'm Erica Policelli. I'm one of the partners here at the winery, and I want to tell you a little bit more about our estate. We were founded in 2006 by Dave and Luann Mansfield. We have 40 acres of grapevines, a fully operational farm. All of the wines you're tasting today are from our farm. We have 2 female winemakers, Kim Marconi and Paige Vinson. On our campus, we actually have 3 wineries and a microbrewery. We have an extensive portfolio of not only wine, but also beer, hard cider, wine spritzers, and wine slushy, all manufactured here on site. When we opened our doors in 2007, we had a modest staff of 10. We've grown to employ 40 full-time and 100 part-time employees. We pride ourselves on creativity, innovation, and our company culture. When you make a purchase from Three Brothers Wineries or Warhorse Brewing, you're supporting a majority women-owned small business, and we thank you for that.
Welcome back to Book Hour. I'm your host, CarlyRae, here with New York Times bestselling author Asha Lemmie. Now, Asha, most people probably don't know this, but you were in the book publishing industry prior to becoming a full-time writer. What was the transition like going from the literary side to full-time writer? Was being a part of the literary world what gave you that push to finish 50 Words for Rain?
It definitely reminded me how much I love books. It's really difficult to be surrounded by all of that positive bookish energy all the time and not feel a little flicker of inspiration if being a writer is your true calling, as hopefully it's mine. So yeah, it definitely made me want to finish my novel, and it gave me the guts to stick out all of the rejection. But I want to make it clear, I was rejected for quite a while, even after I tried to transition. So it's not like I made any super awesome inside connections to help me get this book published. I had to do that part myself.
Now, one thing I'm curious about is why you decided to write historical fiction. Were you always passionate about novels relating to historical subjects?
Absolutely. I was probably the only 8-year-old you'd ever meet whose favorite subject was Victorian midwifery. It was very odd. I mean, I've always been an old soul. I've always been very interested in the past and in royalty and the nobility and that kind of thing. I love dynastic politics and playing with all of that intrigue and drama. And, I think I was always destined to write a book like this.
Did you think when you were 16 years old, you'd be sitting here on Book Hour with that same novel on the New York Times bestseller list?
Absolutely not. When I was 16, I was eating lunch in the 3rd floor art room because I didn't have any friends. So this is incredibly surreal.
Yeah. Now, I am curious, the chapters that you wrote when you were 16, did you go back when you picked this book up again and change it all, or did you have the initial characters already set up?
So I had Nori and Akira pretty much down pat, and of course the grandmother and the mother. Actually, I would say that the mother's characterization has gotten the biggest overhaul because I really started to develop an empathy for her the older that I got. She too was kind of a product of her time, and she had limited options.
If you could give one piece of advice to viewers out there right now trying to construct and write a novel, what would it be?
Do not give up. Don't listen to other people when they tell you that you can't do something. They don't know what they're talking about. Now, you do need to take advice. Don't be stubborn and don't think that you can't do anything wrong. Taking criticism is a big part of growing as a writer, but don't let anyone tell you to give up on your dream.
And Asha is proof that no matter how long you've been working at your dream, never give up. Stay tuned because when we come back, it's game time with Asha.
Hey there, I'm Wes, and I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. Looking back, I don't think I was that different from most who experiment with drugs and alcohol. The only difference is, I never stopped. What began with a few pills here and there led me to depending upon roughly 35 Vicodin a day. My addiction rocked me to the point where I ended up living in an old warehouse. I didn't want to live anymore, but at the same time, I really didn't want to die. They say it's darkest before the dawn, and that held true in my case. In a moment of clarity, courtesy of the man upstairs, I got on the road to recovery. It was time to use this gift to help others, and Clean Cause was born. Homegrown in Austin, Texas, and armed with purpose, the Clean team has created a beverage company whereby 50% of the profits go to support individuals in recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. We're ready to rock and roll, but we're only a few. We need you. Buy any of our products and you'll be energizing recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. Shop now at cleancause.com.
We are back with Book Hour, and it is game time with Asha. The first game we're going to play is Guess the Character's Dialogue. Asha, I'm going to read quotes from your novels, and you're going to guess which character said them.
I'm going to try.
The first quote is, "That's ridiculous. Nobody likes the rain. Nobody ever says, I wish it weren't so sunny today."
Akira.
Yes. So we have 1-0. The next one is, "I'm going to be growing up like you one day. I need to learn these things. I need to learn how to negotiate, how to get people who don't like me to give me my way."
Nori.
Yes. 2-0. So far, Asha knows her characters. The next one is, "I don't know how you manage it. It's like you have ice water in your veins. All these handsome men look at you and you stand like a statue. I have never once seen you look back." Which character said this?
Alice, little flirt that she is.
Yes. Now she has 3-0. Let's see if she gets the last quote. And it is, "I am offering you a destiny." Which character said that?
Yuko, Nori's grandmother.
Yes. So Asha won her character's dialogue game. She knows her characters in 50 words for Rain. The next game we're going to play is Would You Rather? First question is, would you rather go on a getaway to Antarctica and stay in an igloo, or go to a tropical island and stay in a houseboat?
Tropical island. Definitely. I would prefer the warm weather to the cold.
Yes. Would you rather be the lead singer of a rock band or the top chef at a restaurant?
Lead singer. I'm kind of a diva on the inside.
Would you rather go on a shopping spree in New York City or visit the British Library in London?
Are you kidding? I'm a writer and I'm an Anglophile, so definitely London.
Would you rather have a sheep as a pet or as a giraffe?
Ooh, I think I'd rather have a sheep because I can't fit a giraffe in a condo.
Yeah, that's a good point. Would you rather have dial-up internet or a flip phone?
Ooh, flip phone, because I can hang up on people in a very sassy fashion when they irritate me.
And then selfie after, maybe. That concludes Book Hour Game Time with Asha. Asha, I want to thank you for being on Book Hour and joining us today and allowing me to be the first person ever to introduce you as a New York Times bestselling author. Before you go, tell viewers if you are working on a sequel to 50 Words for Rain, or can we expect a fresh new novel from you soon?
Maybe both. I'm always writing more than one thing.
Well, I'm very excited. I cannot wait. And if viewers out there want to see more from you and stay up to date on your social media, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Asha Lemmie Author and on Twitter at TA Lemmie. I also have a website, ashalemmie.com.
You heard Asha. All of her social media handles are in the description below. So if you don't follow her, go check her out now. Asha, thank you so much for being on Book Hour. And for those watching, I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much.